Welcome to One in a Miller. Hey y'all, welcome back to the One in a Miller podcast. I'm Neosha.
I'm Justin.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. As always, please ring that notification bell. Also subscribe to our channel so you can join the One in a Miller family. We're trying to grow this thing, okay?
Get us to 100 subs.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
100 subs.
All right, so today's video is all about parenting, and I titled it, Your Kids, Your Circus. And I do want to make a disclaimer. Justin and I are not parents. However, we both teach children. We both interact with children. And with everything that we say, please take it with a grain of salt because we don't know everything. And if you feel the need to correct us, please drop down in the comments. We're always, open to different opinions as parenthood is something that we hope to see in the future.
You got to step into it.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. So with that being said, like I said, me and Justin both work with kids. So what is the craziest parenting you've ever seen?
I don't really, that question.
The craziest interaction with a parent and a kid, or maybe somebody told you a story about what their kid did or something like that.
The craziest story I've ever heard from a kid, it really had nothing to do with parents, was a kid swallowed a pencil.
Oh,
a number 2 pencil. And I was short. That's why they tell you always don't wait with little kids, kids in elementary school. But outside of that, I really can't think of one. It's always as it comes to me, I'll be like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But I really can't just
name it off the dome.
Yeah, I don't really keep them in my head.
This is not really a parenting thing that I had, but it was an interaction what I had with a little kid. And I think I told you this. I had to give a little girl the Heimlich one time at the dance.
Oh, yeah, you did.
That was pretty wild. And me and her both looked at each other afterwards and just started crying because I was traumatized too. I was like, oh my God, I really just had to save a life. But anyways, we'll get right into it. You ready for the first story?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. This first story is, am I the butthole for slapping a teenager? I, 32 female, was at a water park this last weekend with my husband, 32 male, and my daughter. We were in one of the pools practicing swimming and keeping to ourselves. There was a group of teen boys there, and while I was working with my daughter on swimming, one of them came up behind me, and I felt a tug on the string of my top untying. I spun around, saw this 15 to 7-year-old with a smirk, and slapped him. This quickly caused a scene. The park staff got involved, as well as the boys' parents, who were livid at me. My husband came, and another lady saw it happen and confirmed that he really did grab my top. There was also cameras around the pool that kind of showed it wasn't the best angle, though. The boys' parents threatened assault charges, and I threatened sexual assault charges if they decided to go that way.
Right.
Eventually, we were both asked to leave and haven't heard anything since. My husband, though, still thinks I overreacted a bit, which I don't think I did. Am I the butthole?
I was like, yeah, I don't really think that that's an overreaction in that situation. I mean, I think that as adults and kids, as you come up, you learn to keep your hands to yourself. And going up to somebody, even as a teenager, when I was a teenager, I mean, you're going to do stuff that's kind of crazy and mischievous. But even as a teenager, I wouldn't have went up to a woman and even play like I'm doing the top without the thought or the wherewithal that I'm probably going to get hit.
Trouble. Yeah.
Not even trouble. I know I'm going to get hit.
Yeah,
that's a hittable offense.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Off top. So I don't think she's wrong. I mean, it's your body. You can't just be because what if people had undone your top for sure?
Yeah.
And then you sitting there oh, don't do that. Obviously, sometimes the best enforcement is a little physical.
We know.
A little positive.
From you. And
so I mean, that's something you'll never forget.
Yeah.
And I mean, from the sound of his parents, they ain't gonna do nothing about it.
No,
so I mean, he sounds entitled.
Yeah, his parents sound like enablers, and they let him get away with anything. And the fact that he kind of smirked lets me know that he knew what he was doing was wrong, and was pushing that boundary to see how far he could go. So I do not blame her at all for slapping him. She really, she probably really didn't even see who it was. It was probably just a knee-jerk reaction,
instinct.
I just turned around and bam, whoever was there has just been there.
Only thing that hurt him is he probably embarrassed,
which he should be.
That's the only thing, because it was in front of people, but he also vice versa. He ain't doing her time in front of people. What if she?
This is a public, and she can get a red dot for that too, because that's public indecency if you know the wrong people.
And we going blindly on it because she could be a heavier set lady. She could be skinny lady. She could be whatever, and you kind of just going off of that. And she can have body issues,
right?
And you just messed up. So I mean, like it can go both ways. I don't think she's wrong in that situation.
I don't think she's wrong either, and I'm kind of side eyeing the husband for really not having her back in that too, saying that he thinks that she overreacted. I would want to ask the husband, but well, what if it was a 30-year-old man? Would you still think that she was overreacting if she turned around and slapped him? Is it just because he's a teenage boy? And even then, like, you step in and say, like, hey man, like, come on, let's talk man to man. This is not what you need to do.
And I kind of wonder too, like, is like when they say pulling a string, was the string loosening? Was it a? And I'm not giving I'm not giving any
victim blaming.
No, an excuse to it. But I'm saying, like, was it like he flicked the string? Did he tug it and it loosened up? Did you feel the string loosening? Like
she said,
how deep did it go? You know what I'm saying? Because if he just like flicked it and you kind of like felt it, then I'd be like, okay, cool.
She said, I felt a tug on the string.
That's what I'm saying.
Top. Yeah. So like, I picture
if it's like a dude and nothing happened, I'm like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah. I picture like maybe she has on a bikini where you tie it at the top.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And maybe he was like trying to pull.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe he was trying to get to the string and she just kind of felt it.
Now, if it's that, then yeah, I agree. Like because I've seen people get like straight up cussed out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do that. But like that's what I say. Like if it's one of those, I'm screaming. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably gonna sound harsh on the volume if I'm screaming. But if it's one of those like where he did like a tug and nothing happened, then yeah, like verbal is good enough. Now, if you felt string loosening and you had to restring it or retie it while you fussing, then yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. So that's the part where I say that maybe the husband ain't wrong because we don't see that. We're going off the verbal, everything ain't verbal, but we're going off like just reading it. And y'all probably gonna say I'm fucking, I can't remember the word, but we're just reading the story or the report basically back, and we're not really getting all the details.
True. Well, here are some comments. Mm-hmm. The first one says, not the butthole. That's a natural reaction. I'd probably do the same by natural reflex.
You protecting your own body.
Not the butthole. And I would talk to the manager of the park. You were assaulted and used self-defense. You should not have been asked to leave.
Right. And
then one last comment says, it's so frustrating to me that these parents are defending the little perpetrator. It's cause and effect. If he hadn't placed his hands on a woman and attempted to undress her in public, he wouldn't have deservedly had his face slapped. They're acting like he's a victim, and it's outrageous and only encourages him to think that behavior is acceptable. You reacted out of natural instinct and would not have hit him had he not attacked you. This isn't a joke, and his parents downplaying his actions makes me furious.
Right.
I would personally file a complaint, but that's just me. His parents obviously aren't going to hold him accountable. I just hope there's no other victim in his future, not the butthole. Right. And I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. All three of those. Yep. Those make sense.
Am I the butthole for refusing to provide financial assistance to my adult son?
Absolutely. And I even heard it.
He is a butthole for refusing?
I ain't got no hair on my head. Y'all ain't brushing my hair. I hope my hairline ain't looking ate up.
So you're saying he's a butthole?
I don't know the story yet.
Well, why are you making a comment then?
Because I don't like when people don't support their kids.
Well, let's see what they got going on.
Right.
All right. Background. My wife and I have been married for 31 years. We have 4 adult children and are all too familiar with the struggle of trying to make ends meet from our early years. I've been a fixture at my job for 27 years, while my wife has always baked cakes, babysat for family friends, did hair to help make ends meet. My insurance rate skyrocketed about 7 years ago to $737 per month. Boy. So my wife decided to work full time to carry our insurance.
Right.
We make 6 figures now, have a moderate home that's paid for in the next 10 years, have 1 car payment, own another 10-year-old vehicle, and have no other debt. My son and his wife have been married for 8 years and have 2 kids, 9 and 4. They both have barber/cosmetology. My son and his wife have been married for 8 years and have 2 kids, 9 and 4. They both have barber/cosmetology licenses. He works for a local barber. You with them
barbers and cosmetology all messing you up.
My speech impediment is showing. My God. All right.
Let's go.
He works for a local barber making $14.40 a week with booth rental set at $9.24 a month.
Jeez. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that is straight. Take home pay is about $4,800 a month.
Oh, he's super straight.
She works part-time retail and makes about $70 a day or $1,100 a month. Their rent is $1,400. Their car payments are combined $800 a month. They have Medicaid and get about $500 a month in SNAP benefits.
Yeah.
My son eats out every day for $11 and smokes weed regularly.
Oh, you gotta cut that out.
About $6 a day.
So it's $6 a weed smoke a day.
Bro,
your dad was being a cow. He got all your stuff broken down.
He got you on an Excel sheet.
You have a $6 weed habit daily.
We got it. That's crazy that he does know all this.
That's crazy.
I'm going to make a comment later.
Yeah.
We got a text from my son saying they were behind on rent for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
The amount goes up $20 a day. Every day they are late, and not to be surprised if they showed up on our doorstep.
Yeah.
He also said that they were about to lose their cars because of non-payment. Mind you, the car he had 6 months ago was paid for, but underwent hail damage right after we paid $500 for new tires. So he sold it for $2,000. They both have iPhone 16s. Meanwhile, I have an 11. Wife has the 13, and spend about $600 a month on eating out and DoorDash. I understand the financial pressure young people are under these days, but all I see is blatant irresponsibility with money. Why should I support his habits when he doesn't pay his bills?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this at length for the entirety of their marriage. I'm at a loss as to what to do. I just hate to see my grandkids trapped in the middle and have to go without. Am I the butthole?
First of all, you're smart.
I want to make one comment and just say that your dad knows too much about your financial situations.
Yeah.
But he may know that much because he's always had to build them out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm listening.
My first thing just from reading this story at a glance is, yes, they are absolutely irresponsible with money. And if they're about to get kicked out of their place and your concern is your grandkids, I would say to my son, let us take the kids.
Right.
Let them stay with us until you get your affairs in order. We'll take that financial burden from you, but we're not paying we're not paying your rent. We're not paying your car note.
Right.
We'll take care of the kids. They'll be our financial responsibility. You have X amount of months to get your affairs in order, and then at that time we'll come back to the table and see what's what.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about it like, one, I wonder what area they stay in, like where in the world they stay in. Because outside of that, like 6 figures anywhere, like one person making 6 figures, I forgot. I think it's like 10%, 11% of the population, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if 2 people are able to put their money together and eclipse 6 figures, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Even as a couple, that's
right.
Is that upper middle class? I'm not familiar with the numbers.
I feel like they're still like middle class,
I haven't
but like
seen the numbers in a while.
Right on the line.
Well, I know, like if you live like in the South or something like that, you could probably get away with it.
Right.
But like I said, to me, just making 6 figures, even most places we've gone to, it's like you can find somewhere
right
and be very reasonable in what you're doing, making 6 figures. Like 6 figures is 6 figures regardless where you go.
Right.
And so I know how to say that a lot in this synopsis, but that's it. To me, it's hard to wrap my head around. Like, what are y'all doing with y'all money? Because if you're making $4,800 as a barber after your booth fee, and she's making $1,100, well, to me, I'm not trying to cast judgment, which I know is part of kind of what we're doing, but and I'm not a financial advisor, but to me, there's a lot of meat on the bone for her to earn more income,
right?
And like to add on to that, nobody really should be helping you in your situation. You got a 9 and a 4. Like, yeah, you should be getting help if it's complete bailout. But like when it's $600 in DoorDash, we got a weed smoking habit. We got all these extraneous things that we like to do that
many
are
areas
really
we could cut back.
Yeah, that are not really like necessary to life, everyday life. Then that's where I say like, no, somebody help me with that.
Right.
Now, if you had like somebody got sick, your car got totaled, a bad spot, maybe whatever, then that's one thing. But like just for the sake of it, like no.
Or even if,
because that sounds like you just want for the sake of help.
Oh yeah, just I want to be
because your parents are good.
I want to still be irresponsible and do what I want to do, and let all my woes be all my burdens be cast on somebody else. and I'm still just gonna whoop-de-doo.
Right. I need the soundboard.
Right.
Cause my parents doing good.
Right.
I'ma just use
they're doing good now.
Yeah, I'm gonna just use their money at the end.
And so if this young man was smart too, which he doesn't seem to have any like ambition after outside of what he's already doing, he could go to his dad and say, like, Dad, how did you and Mom get out of your financial strain and be able to afford what you have now? Like, help me create a budget. Like, help me, be able to divvy out my money so that, my family is not affected. Because at the end of the day, you're a man and you have a family. And not only do you have a family, like, you have kids too. And I heard this from somebody else. It's not an original thought, but it's okay to be irresponsible when it's just you. But when you're irresponsible and it involves kids, like, that's a whole different ball game. So, like I said, I stand by my first initial thing is, Granddad, take the kids and let them figure it out. Because if you bail them out now, they're never going to learn. And when does the cycle end?
Right.
So some of the comments say, you're not the butthole. However, I would hope you wouldn't let your grandkids become homeless. I would tell your son and his wife that you will take the kids should they become homeless, but you will not take in him and his wife. Tell them that if the kids come to live with you, you need a notarized guardianship agreement or however makes sense in the area you live. Also, tell your son and his wife that you are willing to pay for sessions with a financial counselor for them because they clearly need to revamp their habits or things will keep happening. And I didn't even read that comment before I made my...
Yeah, they gotta stay in like California or somewhere. Cause like if you're making $4,800 as a couple, well, you're making $58, or basically $6,000 as a couple,
right?
And you're still getting government assistance. Like my brain
now, there's some fraud going on.
Yeah, because like, well, no, it's not, because what they're probably doing, but a certain community does this, is they're taking her income, which is why she really can't afford to make more, and they're taking that to the thing, and then they're getting the government to assist in this area because they're saying we only have
her income,
or she's only bringing her stuff. I'm giving y'all game on camera. And that she's taking her stuff, and they are using her income to give her the assistance. But then if you getting all that and you just blowing off new iPhones and stuff, that's crazy.
$500 in food, man.
Right. Even these days,
with the way we pay, we just went to the grocery store.
Even these days, that's helping a lot. Jesus. I mean, so like, I don't get it.
Well, this next comment says pretty much what you said. The numbers don't add up. They make a combined about $6,000 a month. I can't imagine how they would qualify for Medicaid or SNAP benefits.
Exactly. You're frauding it up.
Not the butthole. They won't get better if you enable their bad decisions. Their life isn't hard due to factors outside of their control. It's hard because they are making it hard.
Right.
I agree with all those. You're not the butthole. Let them figure it out, but help them babies because they are innocent.
Right. And those are the people that matter most in that story. The kids.
The babies. Am I the butthole for making my daughter miss once in a lifetime events, homecoming and senior prom, and delete all of her social media as punishment for bullying?
Oh, okay. I was about to say Boondocks. What? Did she do to make them that mad?
Well, we about to see.
Yeah.
All right. So yesterday I was informed that my daughter, Sam, was part of a group of students who bullied another girl to the point that she had to switch schools. There was a racial aspect to the bullying, which came as a complete shock since my wife and I truly do our best to raise our 3 kids to be kind and honest individuals. I don't believe that a grounding and a confiscation of electronics is harsh enough for what Sam did. So I told Sam that she won't be allowed to participate in homecoming or attend senior prom. I also told her that she won't be getting a card for her 18th birthday either. Finally, I told her that she'll have to delete all of her social media accounts with either me or her mother watching. Sam begged me to allow her to go to senior prom because it's a once in a lifetime event.
Yeah, you only get one of those.
And to keep just her Instagram account because it had pictures going back years that weren't saved anywhere else. I told her that she shouldn't have been a racist bully. My parents are temporarily staying with us while their house is undergoing renovations.
Yeah.
They agreed that what Sam did was completely out of line and must be punished. But they think that making my daughter miss homecoming and senior prom and forcing her to delete her social media is far, far too harsh. Am I the butthole?
You didn't hit your daughter with in college football. I call that's a definitely a good guy. You took it all the way. Everything except the Social Security card and her name.
Man, I honestly don't know what to say because I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like bullying these days especially, and we don't know what she did, so there's no telling like what was going on, whether it was physical, whether it was just verbal, whether it was like mental. We don't know what kind of bullying was taking part, and so, man, it's just hard for me to say. And
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't even care. I want to know what she did.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm curious on what did she do to make them that mad. So yeah, it's that's deep. But you know, like I said, I'm with you on that. I don't really know enough of the story to really give input.
But I mean, just going into the racist part, going into like the bullying part, off the top, yeah, like delete social media. I don't care if you have the pictures or not. To be honest, like you shouldn't have done. This is that is a punishment.
Yeah,
for what
I
you
would
did.
archive the account. Though.
No, we're gonna delete it. You're deleting it, and if you want the pictures, I'm gonna give you 20 minutes to say whatever you gotta say. And put it wherever you need to put
it. That's a little extreme.
See, no.
Because you can, well, I'm saying like you can archive or you can, it's not like delete the account. Deactivate is what I'm looking for. I would deactivate the account, but I'm a person too. It's kind of sentimental. So I'm not going to make nobody delete their pictures.
I'm sentimental too. That's why I said
no, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I'm saying I'm not about to make nobody delete their pictures in 2025 because most of now is digital. And so you really can't, even if you were to get there and screenshot them or whatever, you know, you really can't. I mean, it don't hold no value. I mean, you clogging your phone up versus like just keeping it there.
Well, it doesn't matter because she ain't gonna have a phone anyway.
Yeah, but I'm being serious. Like
I'm being serious too.
I would just deactivate. I wouldn't go that extreme. But the other part is like the senior prom. I'm with her on that, and it sounds hard, like crazy. But you can punish a lot of ways. But I'm not gonna take away like your onesies. So like. You're saying your prom to me unless it's like felony, because I can't say other stuff on social. Unless it's a felony, I'm not about to say like, oh, you can't go to senior prom. Like that's kind of crazy. Unless, like I'm gonna say felony 1 or 2, what you did was so egregious, like the girl gonna be there or something like crazy. But my brain, again, not knowing anything, cannot wrap around the context of like, I'm about to tell a kid like, oh, this your senior night football, quit the team. Because that's what it felt like to me. And it's kind of crazy.
So you're saying that it's okay that this young lady, Sam, bullied another girl so bad that she felt the need to switch schools. Now, what if this girl were to off herself? Then would the situation change? Because when you bully, that's like switching schools. Like that's almost like right up there with like, oh, I'm about to do it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, so, like, and I'm not condoning the bullying. What I'm saying is
because it kind of sounds like you are condoning.
I'm not condoning it. What I'm saying is there's two sides to the coin. One side is I can take everything away and be extreme as possible. But if you're a senior, you're already 18. So 9 times out of 10, senior prom is 2 months, 3 months away from you leaving this crib anyway. So you probably ain't gonna, your brain, when stuff like that happen, your brain is not gonna be like, if your brain, you got 2-3 months left at home. So if you went to college or you were moving out of the house to get a job, whatever, well, you're not gonna be talking to me anyway. So I gotta find something that's both aggressive yet manageable in the situation. Again, taking someone to senior prom is as extreme as it gets. That does not sound like a lot to me and you because we have been there, done that. But I'm not about to take
senior prom for 30 minutes.
But I'm not taking nobody's last experience in my hand because I can't. That's
the girl who transfers.
But
school,
listen,
like
listen. Again, we don't know how egregious it was. We're just power tripping. Again, I can't give nobody nothing that I don't know. I ain't gonna say, "Oh yeah, you right," and I don't know the story.
Yeah,
that's just a power trip. And I feel like, yeah, sometimes as adults, you can, as kids, as adults, anybody, you can get overly emotional, and you can go.
I don't find that funny.
And you can go berserk, meaning you could go to the umpteenth extreme in a situation that's not that extreme. And I'm going to use myself, for example. There's been times where I do speed agility training with kids. There's been times where I punish kids and we did a certain thing. I'm like, all right, you finna do this. We're going to do, I don't know, 15 110s. And I'm like, the next day or next hour or whatever, I'm like, I really want to do. I really went a little overboard. And I'm just using that example. But it's just sometimes you just overly do stuff, especially like when you're in that moment. That's why, like, and we haven't had kids yet. And so I'm speaking from a vantage point of looking at the trees in the forest and not being in the forest with the trees. And so one thing that I think that a lot of these stories remind me of is like being emotionally regulated to a point where I can understand, okay, this is what's happened. Give myself time to cool down. Because like one thing she said in the story was, we as a family has taught them this. So you off rip, I know you as mad as you can be, because it's like certain situations I was in where parents be like, "We ain't teach them to sell drugs. We ain't teach them to do drugs,"
right.
and they do them. And the first thing you gonna do, because you taught that though to the most extreme,
Yeah.
because you're like, I didn't teach you that, and so you gotta take your emotions away or give yourself time to emotionally settle down, and then come back and present something. That's the only thing I'm saying, because all that sounds emotional. When you say I'll take everything,
yeah,
because
it does sound emotional, because it probably is, because there's a disappointing factor.
Yeah,
like, I'm
right.
disappointed in you. But I also want to say, like, there is
Overly.
one level of this punishment that I don't understand, is because after all these things are taken away, like, what is she going to learn from this?
That's what I'm saying.
And so, like, that's the layer where I'm just like, there has to be a lesson. That's almost like kids who get whoopings. Like, I've gotten whoopings before, and there's some of them that, you know, I've gotten, I'm like, dang, I can't remember why I even got in trouble. Like, if you're not explaining, like, this is the reason why we're doing this,
Right.
and this is the part of your life we want to change and make better, then I feel like it's going to fall on deaf ears, and she might almost become rebellious. So where there was a glimmer of hope to rehab her in a way,
right.
Now we've lost that, because we're doing this punishment and there's no rhyme or reason for it. We just want to make her hurt as bad as this other girl's hurting, which, you know, depending. I do think. So, what would a proper punishment be?
I don't know, because I don't know what was said.
Right. You really can't. We really can't say, because we really don't know. But there would be some type of punishment where this girl would have to interact with the other one.
Yeah.
Like, at bare minimum, you're going to her house and you're apologizing.
Yeah, and I think at that age, you said something that's real key is like, what are you learning? And I think the biggest thing that you can teach, because you're gonna be you're battling a few things. One is identity. One is what the person identifies himself as within their group. So, am I cool? Am I not cool? Things like that. And then the third thing is, how can we drive the message home of what we really are upset about? How we get to the root of it. And so, as a teenager, which sounds like you're saying, she said senior year also. As a teenager, what I would do is what most teenagers don't want to do. You're gonna read up on why that was that,
right?
And you're gonna give me a report. My mom will shout out to you, because you know you used to make me do reports in front of you. You're the only audience. That's probably why. Woo! That's a worse punishment. And so you do things like that. And then 3, you're gonna do something that I know is uncomfortable for you. So if I know you like to sleep in, we take that privilege away. If I know you like to get up early, I'll take that away. Might make you stay up late at night. So you have to figure out ways, and maybe that's a little more cerebral.
Yeah.
But those are ways as well that you can drive the point home of, like, this is why. Because now when you know the why, then the next time you do it, it ain't it really ain't no question.
Because the next time you do it, if there's a next time, hopefully there isn't. So when I do take away the senior proms, I do take away the homecoming. Now when I go to the extreme, there's no question about it.
Because it's levels. It's levels. I'm gonna give you levels.
I mean, okay, I can agree with that. But like I said,
because if I don't give you no level, it's always it's always just up.
Right.
Well, you gonna pass that down as well. And what's more important, what I teach you, or what I make you feel?
Right.
Because we gotta. I mean, I want you to look back on it and be like, man, that really listen.
Right.
And change my whole perspective.
Right.
Versus like,
my daddy just flew off the handle.
Right.
I did whatever. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. And like I said, at the bare minimum, you're going to look that young lady in her face and you're talking to her. I may make you may have a weekly date every week, every Friday.
That's up to the young lady.
Every Friday.
She may be like,
right. I don't know. But like, if she's open to it every Friday, you going to the movies with her, you're getting to know this person that you were bullying. And really and truly, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to people who do bully, it's just because you don't know who this person is. You're looking at it from the outside and you're like, oh, this is a weak person. But you don't know, like, the home situation. You don't know, like, she really could be like a cool kid. If it's a girl, I don't know if it's a girl, but she really could be a cool kid and somebody that you really grow to know and, like, actually become friends with. But like you said, you know, if that young lady is like, oh, heck no, I don't.
Right.
Shoot. Beat it.
Right.
Like, then I wouldn't blame her, because I mean, that's her right. But one of the comments, this says, not the butthole. This seems appropriate to the level of offense here, especially the deletion of social media accounts. That said, there's a chance to teach the idea of repentance and redemption. Assuming you are in US or Canada, I don't think homecoming is a thing elsewhere, so I feel good about this assumption. The school year is just about to start, and prom isn't until late April, early May. Create a plan of restorative action she can take to earn back prom. These actions can include volunteer service, befriending someone who's an outcast at her school, cultural sensitivity classes, and if possible, something that can positively impact the girl she bullied.
Right. And I ain't even see that. So we on the same page.
Also, give her something to earn back like that lets her have a positive focus on the year. What she did was very wrong and needs to have consequences, but it can be important learning opportunity too. Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff like my mom did. Mm-hmm. I know I used to do stuff and like she would do like game privileges was taken. Mm-hmm. I couldn't play the game or I couldn't watch TV. I'm trying to think. This is so long ago. You didn't have all those like YouTube and all that. So it'd be stuff like that. And I'll be like, okay. And then it'll be like a week or 2 weeks, whatever she deemed. And I'll have to do like certain things, check out certain things in order to get those privileges back. I mean, it was the same thing with grades. So,
and I agree. Like, and just to kind of re-hit my point, because a lot of times when kids get punished, like I said, they don't even know like like the you know what I'm saying. There's no root of it.
There's a time and place sometimes where like I don't need to just understand.
We need to know the rods full trial.
You just need to know what's wrong. Yeah. Now when I come off top rope,
well, yeah, boom, you gonna know better.
Yeah. But in this situation, that's one of those things. I'm ready.
Are you ready for the last?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it for real.
Yeah. So am I the butthole here? My son physically assaulted me after I punished him.
Well, got that. Be touched.
I, 41 female, caught my son, 16 male, lying about finishing his homework and decided to punish him by taking away his electronics for the week. While I was explaining the consequences of his action.
The consequence.
Justin, I'm struggling.
All right, let's start it over from the top.
While I was explaining the consequences of his actions, he became upset and started to argue with me and promised he'd do it. In the heat of the moment, I hit him lightly with a slipper to emphasize my point and show him I wasn't playing with him.
Yeah.
However, instead of just accepting the punishment, he tackled me, causing both of us to fall to the ground. My husband, 45 male, rushed to break up the altercation, and my son stormed off to his room, slamming the door behind him. My husband believes I went too far by hitting our son with a slipper, but I feel that I was justified in trying to discipline him for his behavior. He's a kid and I'm the adult. If he's going to be disrespectful, he'll have to pay the consequences. Am I the butthole? Absolutely. Why we gotta hit him with the slipper? Like and this just goes back to what I said before. At what point were you trying to prove by hitting him with a slipper?
Well, Jesus.
Like that?
I get her side because I'm larger than my mom. So my mom, once I got to a certain age, I no longer got the rod. I got them hands. And so it really don't bother me. As a man, sometimes the only way to steer that bull in the direction you want to go is you got to get physical. Now, the flip side of it is where I'm confused. Your daddy just broke up the fight and said you wrong. Because if you bull rush my wife and you stunner her like it's WWE, like it's Royal Wrestling Federation, well, why you on the floor? I'm going to get on the floor with you. And she going to be on the floor. And we all on the floor. Now, I'm on the floor for a different reason. Because I'm going to be... I'm real. Like, seriously. If while she on the floor, if you tackle... And I'm saying this, and let me be serious. Okay, well, my kids I train, I have like teenage boys. I have girls as well. I have younger boys, younger ladies, stuff like that I train. Well, my boys, I always tell them to respect your parents. And because I grew up with my mom, I have a special reverence to respecting your mom. For sure. And you respect your dad. If I was to haul off and body slam my mama, I mean, come on, dog. That is, she probably, and I'm not saying let no woman hit you, but your mom more than likely tapped you to give you a wake up, like, pop. Get it together. Because if you lied, the boy, I'm telling you, you can do all that soft stuff you want to, and people can believe all they want to about boys. honestly, some of the boys grow up soft and end up places they don't want to be, versus the ones who I knew the people were stern, and when they needed to get right, they got right. And there's a time and place for everything. But you should what that's really revealing is more of a dysfunctional household because you're not emotionally regulated, or you're not, and you shouldn't be emotionally mature at 16. You should not be unless you were grown up in that environment to be. Most will not be, because your brain isn't fully developed yet. And so you have that, and then two, you don't understand. Okay, yeah, this may happen, but controlling your emotions or displaying a level of respect. And so, like I said, the dad just as wrong.
I feel like the dad, and this is of course just us having these 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
I feel like the dad knows his wife.
Where were you hit? That's the other question. Where were you hit? Was it your mouth? Was it your temple?
And for her to say, I hit him lightly with a slipper to emphasize my point, if you're going to lightly hit somebody, you just shouldn't hit them at all. And at what point of bending down and taking off your slipper and smacking your son with it lightly, like how does that emphasize your point? And so once again, I'm going back to my initial thought is I think the husband knows his wife, and the wife may be someone who is just violent. And so to me, for the husband to automatically say like, "Oh, you were wrong," sounds like this is something that may be habitual.
Yeah, she may have flown the handles.
Right, and now the son is finally like, this was
but you still shouldn't tackle your mama though.
No, and I agree. Like, you definitely should tackle your mama.
It's no situation outside of her coming at you with a gun, knife, some sort of weapon.
I mean, I agree. Like, he shouldn't have
mental break.
He shouldn't have tackled her, but I also feel like she shouldn't have hit him with a slipper. I just don't see the point in doing that.
I've been rocked in the mouth. You hear me?
But was that like, that was provoked? He literally said like, "Okay, I do it." And that's not even, and you know what? Sometimes parents flip and reverse what you say. She's saying that he was arguing with him, but he could have been like, "Okay, mama, I'll do it."
That's
and
cool.
Just like the tone of what he said, she felt away because he wasn't like responding in the way that she wanted him to respond. So now I'm gonna smack you upside the head so I can get that emotion out of you.
But she also said that she asked him about the homework and he didn't do it.
Yeah, he did.
How many things you think are stacked up that he ain't did? That he just lying for no reason.
So I got to get my electronics taken for the week, and I got to get beat with a flip flop.
Y'all, today's episode is brought to you by Slippers US.
I mean, I'm just saying, and once again, I'm not a parent, and I hope I never have a son that I have to be confronted with like this in this way, because I don't know how I respond. I can't say what I would or wouldn't do, but just reading this story, I just don't understand like why she would hit him with a slipper, or if she felt any kind of way about it, pass this off to your husband. Like, I would pass this off to you. Like, I'd be like, "Hey, Justin, Lil Junior hadn't done his homework for the X amount of time this week. I've already tried talking to him. I don't know what else to do. Ball in your court. We're passing the play and letting you handle this from here. And whatever y'all come to, once again, as men, is what's going to happen. Like, I stand beside it."
But like, I've been in a situation too, like.
And did this mom, hold on, let me make one point. And did this mom just come up with this punishment? And did this mom just come up with this punishment by herself, or did she even consult with her husband?
But again, that's what I was getting to. Yeah. It's like I've seen couples where the mother does the disciplinary, she runs the house, and the husband is basically disconnected until then, where I hear some bodies hitting the floor, and I say, "Oh God, I gotta get up." So it could be it could be a situation, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, she probably ain't got no help in the department. That's why she doing it.
Probably.
Because you're not gonna act like, ain't no woman in America naturally acting like,
there's some,
I just want to sock this joker naturally. I'm saying there's some, but there ain't that many with a man present.
Yeah.
They're saying, "Oh yeah, I'm finna go and body slam my kids and stuff."
Yeah.
Like, that's just being real. And so, that's my 2 cents.
I also have a problem with this last comment that she said. He's a kid and I'm the adult. And if he's going to be disrespectful, he'll have to pay the consequences. But like in the Bible, I can't remember the verse verbatim, but it says something about like respecting your parents. But the second part of that is like, don't provoke your kids. And so like, we have to always remember like the second part of that verse. You know the verse.
Yeah, but also like, honor your mother and father is the first step. So whatever, you don't have to like them. And that ain't saying they control you, but you got to honor them.
Yeah.
So honor mean I'm not gonna lie to you for no reason about a piece of paper. Just do the homework, dude.
True.
It ain't hard.
But I mean, that's a conversation she
Don't
could
come
have
back
had.
and
She could have had
yell
that conversation like, look, bro, like, you're 16. We're trying to get you through high school. When you turn 18, you cannot do homework all you want to.
Yeah, we're gonna come back when we
But
16.
if you're lying about homework,
she talking the same way. Because when you tell somebody, I can't stand people. I can't stand people. I tell week to week.
And maybe
so if I see you every day,
I feel this way because of how I grew up. Like my home growing, like my environment was different. So like I don't know. I can't get you with that.
I see you every day. You gonna tell me about a piece of paper? You just talking noise. Nah, that's crazy. But yeah, that's.
Well, here are some of the comments. Holy smokes! Where do you think you learned that hitting people was okay?
Right.
Do not hit kids. They will learn that violence is acceptable. I do not believe you are a reliable narrator. You are the butthole. You outlined the punishment. Striking your son wasn't part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I feel. A couple more comments. You've conditioned your kid to think that you can use violence to solve interpersonal conflicts.
Right.
Congratulations. They are now strong enough to beat you up and remember all the times you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
Parents who spank willfully raise abusers and deserve the consequences. I don't know about the last part. I don't know about the last part, but the first part was head on.
I'm a little lost on that one.
There's one more comment I want to read. All right. That is the trouble. You hit him, and you should know that at that age, kids have a temper. Anytime you decide to get physical, you should be aware of possible consequences. No matter how right you may think you are, if you get physical with someone, you need to be aware he might do the same, even if it's wrong. For some people, it's almost a reflex to hit back, and gender will not save you. That's why usually it was the husband that punished the kids. Right or wrong, they are more likely to be able. They were more likely to be able to overpower them.
And you know who I'm talking about because I know y'all, and I'm not saying that. That's why I say I know teenagers. You ain't finna talk to no boy like soft, and he gonna just even me when I was teenager. Like I said, I grew up my mom, but I wasn't hearing it. You can say it, and it was so soft. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And until you like and it shook me up, I'd be like, oh okay. Or it took like men who were strong that I knew I couldn't do no with them. I'd be like, okay, I gotta do it because it don't matter what I feel. And you just can't. It sounds great in theory to be all soft and cuddly, but you can't talk no. You can talk to teens and some that do respond well, but for the most part, like sometimes you just gotta get mine right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of backpedaling now. I'm a little indifferent about the whole situation because, like I said, I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't really know unless I had video and I could see exactly what it was and what it wasn't. I really can't make a definitive answer, but I really don't think that she needed a slipper to emphasize her point.
That's why I said with stories tonight, like they were great stories.
Yeah.
But like without a lot of context, I really can't give you. I can't cook the way y'all used to me cooking.
Sir.
I was given the ingredients.
But unfortunately, you couldn't mix them up.
Yeah,
you couldn't mix them up.
And do much with it.
Well, anyways, y'all, that concludes today's video. Drop down in the comments and tell us some of your parenting wins or even your parenting fails. We would love to hear all about parenting, or even give us your best parenting advice. That's what what I would really like to read. Like I said, hopefully we're parents in the near future, far future. I don't know. Whenever God sees fit to bless us with a baby, hopefully, we embark and do, things as right as we can as parents. But yeah, drop down in the comments, let us know. Also give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.